nothing. I was just saying, yeah.
Oh, wait, did I miss something? Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of
I didn't
Avon
even know you
Regional.
started.
Yeah.
You didn't see the numbers countdown?
Uh-uh.
Y'all know how it feels. My name is Cedric, and joining with me today is Will and Chris and Zach. How's everybody?
Whole squad ready.
Yeah, full squad. Everybody good?
I'm doing great, by the way. I don't know. I'll answer your question.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you.
I'm good. We don't have school tomorrow.
You got
I'm
a day
great.
off tomorrow. Let's go.
Our day off 2 days from yesterday, or yesterday, 2 days. I don't know, whatever.
Yes,
At
We
the
got
time
off.
of this recording, we have a day
Yeah,
off.
we have a day off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
that's right.
yeah, feels good. Feels good.
We actually didn't have kids on Friday either. So we've had an extended break.
We didn't have kids Wednesday.
Mm-mm.
But there's sometimes I love teaching. Sometimes it's good to actually get some work done without the kids there. I can finally do what I need to do to prepare.
Yeah,
We went story time. We went to Sam's Club this afternoon, and of course, everybody else in town was there too, right? And there was a cart full of children that were, they were being kids. I'll give them that. They were just being kids, but they were just screaming for not like crying, screaming. They were just screaming like woohoo.
I would put them back on the shelf.
Oh,
I just my whole family was we were all there and they were like looking through stuff. I just walked like 4 aisles away. I was like,
And
I
then
can't.
Sam's, you can do that. You can walk 4 hours away.
Yeah.
Sure, you can.
I just was like, you know what? I spend my whole day with 10 and 11-year-olds and I don't want to see them when I don't have to. I love my kids, but
That happened when we were at
my
that basketball game.
my battery.
A couple weeks ago. Those middle school kids were sitting beside us. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I just gotta get away. I've been around them for 5 days. I need 2 days away. Yes. There's only so much bras and caps that I can take.
Ugh.
You know.
Nah, it's funny because we'll be somewhere like you guys. We'll be somewhere and some kids acting up and doing something. I'm just like, not my problem.
Yep.
Not my kid. Not my problem. So I just let it roll. It's real.
It is nice to know that when you go to like a band contest or a WGI show that you can like see how other groups behave and just have full confidence that it's not your kids. You're like, yeah, we don't do that. Like
That's what I love about TikTok and Instagram when you see because I'm a parent too, and they're like, hey, I'm like, okay, we're not the only ones. That's okay, good. I'm just make sure I'm not the only one having.
It's I anytime we go anywhere, like, do not embarrass me. I will not claim you.
that part.
Nobody will believe that I'm your director. None of y'all look like me. I can deny it. Like, I don't know who they. I don't know who them children are.
I can get an Uber. It's okay. I don't have to ride the bus.
But you walked out with them. No, I just tried to get in for free. I don't know who them.
I'm just trying to get in for free.
No, it does not belongs to me. So, but no, they're pretty well behaved. They're pretty good. I don't have to worry about too much, which is a good thing because I don't like babysitting children. Not a thing. Now, if I got that babysitter money,
Right.
Story. But I digress. So we had the first regional weekend this past weekend.
Yeah.
And
Not the horn.
yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't have that. Yeah, we don't have that sound bite yet. I need to add it. But anyway, yeah. So we got a lot to cover. So we're gonna really quickly run down the scores from a couple of regionals, and then I think the one that we all got to watch was the Avon Color Guard Regional. So we're probably digging into that one just a little bit. So I'm actually going to start with percussion. Kind of run through those. There was not a percussion regional online this time around, so all of this is just scores from those regionals. So there were three regionals that happened. Um, so Chicago Regional, just kind of running through it. Victor J. Andrews um, when Scholastic Marching opened. Scholastic Marching A at Manoka Community High School. Manuka, it's two O's, so Oka. Or Uka, I don't know. Anyway, Marching A, they win the A category with Plainfield second and Bay for third. And then Independent Marching A, you had Pop Percussion, pretty big, substantial win over Timberland Indoor Percussion in the Independent Marching A. Chicago Regional was a little bit on the smaller side of things,
Mm-hmm.
but that happens. In Knoxville, Tennessee,
Beep, 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 beep. I just want to make Will pissed. That's all I'm just trying to do right now.
So, um, in Marching A, you had Halls finishing third, Mount Juliet second, and Dobbins Bennett edging them out in finals. They were flip flopped in prelims with Dobbins Bennett.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Beat them in final by 2/10 to take the Scholastic A class. Audio Theater and World Class was the only one to compete alongside with Creekside Independent. It's the only A class independent group to compete. And then in Marching Open, Hardin Valley Academy, Hardin Valley Combined Schools was the only group to compete in their open class. So another small regional there uh, as well. And then in Dayton, some people would consider the premier um, regional of the weekend for percussion. Rhythm X takes the win over Cap City by almost 8 points with 84.2. Independent Marching Open, Cap City 2 takes that by themselves. And Marching A, Centerville wins that regional over Sycamore and Kings High School. And Marching Open, Kettering Fairmont wins that in Marching Open pretty big over Beaver Creek. Concert A, Canton McKinley, only group in their class, takes that. And then in Marching A, Impulse Drumline and Independent Marching A was the only group to attend. So a few percussion regionals and light attendance for them, but
The big
go ahead.
one's here soon, isn't it? The bigger.
Well, Dayton is usually pretty big. Um, I don't
A
know
lot of groups pulled out this time
you think?
because Mystique used to go to this. I feel like a lot of other groups used to go to this. Get one of these first ones out.
Yeah, to get it out of the way, you got to get read early,
Yeah.
but not as heavily attended. In wins, you have Mount Juliet. They were the only wins group to compete at the Knoxville Regional. So, but a nice number for them, 78.95 in that category. And then in Indianapolis, which I think was a wins only regional. I don't think there were percussion
It was.
there.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
You're correct.
It was.
So the wins division is growing where they can have their own regionals. They had a couple last year, and I think they're doing it again. In Scholastic World, you had Avon winning with 83.5 over Westfield High School and Greenfield Central. And Independent World, LSM wins with a 78.5 over Elevate wins in Independent World. Independent Open, Valhalla takes it over Chromium. 6 point gap there. Scholastic A wins. Ben Davis takes the Scholastic A over Lake Central and Washington High School. Simon Kitten from Kentucky also competed in that region. Shout out to them. Scholastic Open, only Miamisburg was there, but they put up a nice number. And then an Independent A wins. Kent City Indoor wins. Was the only group that compete there. So some wins groups already coming up, which is also well and dandy. All right. Color Guard. I'm going to start with the Salem Color Guard Regional. In Regional A, you had Shenandoah High School win Regional A over Wakefield and Dover. In Independent Regional A, you had Marine Attraction.
Main attraction.
Main Attraction, sorry.
Yep.
Lines blur together. Line can't say. Sucks. Anyway, Scholastic A, you had Bellarica Memorial Combined Schools. I say that right, not Marine.
I like Marine better. I think I like that one better than.
Yeah. Well, I get it, main attraction because they're
from Maine.
Yeah, it's clever. But Bellarica wins the Scholastic A class over Salem and West Milford. And Independent A, Gates Chili Independent Winter Guard.
What a city name. Can we just talk about that for a second? Gates Chili. Like.
But they win that Independent A class over St. Anne's and Sonar. And then Scholastic Open, you had Shenandoah High School win it. Close battle between them and Dartmouth. And then Independent Open, Third Legend takes that over Blessed Sacrament. And then in Independent World, Blessed Sacrament wins Independent World over Fusion Winter Guard.
So it's pretty cool. That contest or that show had a couple groups from Canada. We got 3 or 4 groups from Canada there.
Putting the I in WGI.
Yeah, pretty cool.
All about it. All right. In Corning, you had in Regional A, Corning Painted Post High School, taking that class over John C. Bertabo High School Junior Guard. I would not want that score.
Right. Like, we don't have to retally this.
Can we get another 10 or something? Or take off a 10?
Right. I'm pretty sure we went over the time limit. We need a penalty.
Yeah, just give us a penalty. It'll be okay. And Independent Regional A, Liverpool High School JV over New Hartford High School. And Scholastic A, Liverpool High School wins over Victor High School and North Penn High School. Pretty close between those 3 in that class. Independent A, Vestiges over Introspection Independent in that class. In Scholastic Open, Cesario North Syracuse takes that over Central Square. And in Independent World, AMP, Will's favorite.
I am okay with that score.
You're okay with that score. That score was a 79.4 for them. So pretty solid score overall for them. Moving to our 2-day regionals. Houston. Regional A. Sonia Sotomayor High School.
Sotomayor.
High
Supreme Court Justice.
Oh, okay.
It's named after her.
Learned something every day. Takes the Scholastic Regional A class over Thomas Randall and Foster High School. And Scholastic A, the Woodlands, in a close battle over Pearland High School. He takes Scholastic A, Cypress Wood finishing 3rd. There was a lot of groups there.
I saw Cypress Woods. I thought Cypress Hill. So it's my one different place there.
Independent A, Ether. Only class competing in that class takes Independent A. Scholastic Open, you have Earl Warren High School taking that over Friendswood High School and Bridgewood High School. Front out your top 3. Independent Open, you have Undaunted out of Klein, Texas, taking that class over Redemption Guard. And Scholastic World.
What are these names? What are these names?
I was waiting for it.
Listen, y'all. This is just
it's like they just crack open a dictionary and put their finger on one and go, "Okay, that works. That sounds cool."
It's way worse up here.
If it's not,
I'm looking at these names, and this is just mild. I don't even attempt to pronounce none of the names up here. I've been looking at some of the stuff.
Person,
I'm like,
they just pick some random name,
some random
adjective out of the dictionary.
No, they combining words up here is like, are you like? First of all, this is illegal. Okay.
Second of all, why is your school named after a Yu-Gi-Oh card? Like,
Jesus.
Like, what is this? Why? Can we please just Moving on.
Okay. In Scholastic
I
World,
hadn't.
you said we were moving on.
Listen,
I need to move on. Y'all go ahead.
Okay. Scholastic World, the Woodlands wins that class with an 83-1, so that's a big number. And then in Independent World, Origins takes that with a decent number, 77. So that's your Houston Regional. Dallas. So we had two color guard regions in the same state.
too big.
It's also like 8 hours apart.
Well, yeah, because Texas is huge. And Scholastic Regional A, Reedy High School takes that over Allen High School and Pine Tree High School JV. Scholastic A, Hebron High School wins over Zell and Wiley High School. Pretty close between those three. Independent A, you had Eagle Mountain Independent win that over Black Gold. And Scholastic Open, Marcus High School over Coppell and Little M. Scholastic Open, Independent Open, Menage or Menage, I don't know which one.
It's
French.
I was gonna let it go.
Menage wins over Origins and Independent Open. Scholastic World, Flower Mound High School takes Scholastic World, and then Mirage High School takes Independent World. So,
Zach, here's your homework for next week. This is what I want you to do. I want you to come up with. I want you to see if you can come up with names, as you just said, with adjectives. I want you to come up with your top 10 new color guard units.
Like that don't already exist?
Yes. That's what we play a game is if that was, this is what we need to do is
if it's real or not.
If it's real or not. And for the past, present, like all that stuff, and we'll see if that was actually a real thing or not.
Gosh.
Oh boy, this ought to be fun. So you guys need to make sure you tune in next week. That's going to be entertaining. All right. And for our feature regional for the weekend, we're going to talk about the Avon Regional, and we're going to probably get into a little bit more detail about this. I think we were all able to watch a few shows from there because they did have it on Sunday and Sunday. So I know I watched some of the tail end of it today, and I think some of you guys did too.
I started like around Scholastic Opens when I was able to tune in.
Okay. So. All right. Regional A, we had Scholastic Regional A, to be more specific. Brownsburg High School takes that over Westfield High School and McCracken County High School. Go Kentucky. Pretty close, not too shabby there.
That ain't bad.
75, 74. So competitive. And I love seeing all the regional A groups. I really do. That's going to these regionals. That's good.
I'm glad they win.
So what?
I was just saying, I'm glad they win.
Yeah. In Independent Regional A, I need to slow down. You have Ranger X Winter Guard, R8, out of Cleveland. I really have to look at that. Rangerettes. Okay. They take the Independent Regional A class over the Stepperettes. Cannot
shut the color guard down.
Cannot make these things up. And I'm taking my time reading them so I don't mispronounce stuff.
Man,
you can't make that up.
I'm not used to seeing these group of letters together.
The Rangerettes and the Stepperette.
Yeah. Stepperette Cadet. No, you gotta get that.
Yes.
Scholastic A. Carroll High School takes Scholastic A with an 80 over Carmel High School A class group, and also Reese Puffer High School.
Reese Puff High School.
Reese Puff. So, and that was pretty tight too. 80.25, 79.57, 78.85. So pretty tight in that class. Independent A. Onyx A takes that over Indiana University and Troy Athens Alias. I'm struggling with pronunciations today. It's been a while since I've done this stuff. A little rusty. Scholastic Open, Centerville High School takes the class with an 83 over Noblesville, who had an honorable score with an 82, or a noble score, I should say. Brownsburg was third with an 80, and right behind them was Franklin Central with a 79.9. Um, there was some good stuff in this class. I did catch a little bit of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Surprising Scholastic Open and Independent Open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say something here in a second.
Oh.
No, I was.
Now go ahead.
No, I was going to say that out of all the divisions, Independent Open might have been one of my favorite.
I think it had the most consistent, enjoyable, or
to
entertainment.
Yeah.
Consistent entertainment, yeah.
And that's something we can touch on maybe a little bit later in the podcast about that type of stuff. So speaking of which, Independent Open, you have Revival Winter Guard winning that class with an 82.3. Second place was Phoenix Independent with a 79, and a half point behind them was Collage with a 78.5.
I want to shout out. My favorite show was actually fifth place, Purdue University. I really like their show. It kind of reminded me of the group that did the cool show last year, the high school.
Tarpon Springs.
Tarpon Springs.
Yeah, it kind of had that kind of vibe to it a little bit. I thought it was pretty cool. I dug that show a lot.
Which it's funny that you said that, because I thought of another group that had that type of vibe that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. Scholastic World. You had Avon High School winning the class for 86.3.
They put another point on Carmel.
Right.
You just don't just drop kick somebody in the face like that. Carmel was second with an 83.9. That is a huge gap. And then in third was Fishers High School. Very, very cool show what Fishers has. Then Warren's honorable mention, Warren Central, fourth place with an 80.1. Lots of great stuff happening in the independent world. Oh, sorry, Scholastic World. And the independent world. But Scholastic World is what we're talking about. Is somebody going to catch Avon?
No.
I doubt it.
That show's too freaking good, dude.
Yep.
I can't think of it. And I don't think.
Yes. I will say I put in our group chat WTF Avon because ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous. How good that show is. Like
it might not get caught. It might not get caught. Like by finals, I thoroughly expect Carmel to clean. Will the gap be sustained? I don't know. But as far as somebody beating them at the particular time or any time in the close future right now, I can't even call that.
Will this be their third in a row?
Nah, Carmel won last year.
Did they? Okay.
That show's just got everything right now, man. Like top to bottom, like the work that they're doing, especially towards the end when it's just saying voila like a million times in a row. Like the intensity of the flag work was crazy. Like I just loved it. Like I just felt like anxious the whole time because it was just like going like just building up all this. Oh, so good.
Because it's a 180 from last year,
mm-hmm.
And I think kind of all of them did that, and it's brilliantly designed, and it's very eye pleasing. And sometimes, man, that I don't know. I don't think the Woodland will. I think they'll keep it interesting, but I don't think they'll top them or anything of that nature. To my knowledge, I don't think Tarpon Springs is coming out this year. Well, I think they're doing their circuit, but I don't think they're doing WGI. So, because this might be their on and off year with that and BOA.
Well, they didn't go to BOA this year. So.
Exactly. So that means that they're doing it next year because Tarpon Springs Color Guard came out last year. So they usually flip-flop.
Yeah.
They usually flip-flop years. So I don't know if they're still doing that or if that's going to be the case. But I do know they'll still do their band program. They'll still do indoor, but they won't go all the way like BOA and WGI. So it could be just a battle between Woodland, Carmel, Avon. Maybe Miamisburg can get their foot up in there. Arcadia might do some work. Who knows? But
I just want to know what these programs are feeding their dang kids.
bruh.
Like,
Well,
in all facets of the band world, dude. Like, it's crazy, man. Indiana's got it going on, man. That's
well,
top
some of
three.
Indiana.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of Indiana. There are the difference between the Midwest and like Texas and then California, like, is there are some schools in Indiana, Ohio that take the model that Texas and California has. Like they have the right people in the right positions that believe like the arts works and will pour money into it, will build curriculums around it. So in their schools, they allow a dance class, or they might have like an actual like color guard class where they're learning
Yeah.
all of this stuff, and then all they got to do is just put all of that stuff and apply it to like a show design.
Mm-hmm.
So those schools are feeding their arts programs really well. I mean, you look at Carmel, you take Avon. Um, I know those two programs are probably the ones in Indiana that most people think about. There's others, but the same thing with Ohio. All of those little suburbs around Dayton, like Bellbrook and Milford and Miamisburg, all of those are little suburbs around Dayton, Ohio. So you have Dayton, Ohio, which is the hub of all of this stuff, and they learn all of this stuff, and then they just spread out. So that's why you have great groups in Ohio that's centrally located around Dayton, but not necessarily from the Dayton area.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get pockets like that, you can get some really good talent because all those guys are just feeding each other. Whereas in Texas and California, all that money's built into that stuff anyway, and they're more progressive states, which is weird to say about Texas. But when it
Progressive with the arts, not anything else.
yeah, so you know, it, so it works, and you only see that, Tennessee and Kentucky, you only see that on a small scale because nobody has the financial infrastructure to do those things that they can do in the Indianapolis area or the Dayton, Ohio area. So now, if I'm being a complete idiot, somebody let me know in the comments. But that is my take on it.
I don't think you're right.
This sounds pretty sound.
Hubs of different places, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Where so I think that's why you get that pocket of excellence. Because let's just look at this: Avon High School, Avon, Indiana, around Indianapolis; Carmel, around Indianapolis; Fishers, around Indianapolis; Warren Central, Indianapolis. Brazil, and I know this is an Indianapolis regional, but if you look on a map, all of that areas, and then to look at the Ohio groups that are in that class: Miamisburg, a few miles from Dayton; Bellbrook, a few miles from Dayton; Milford, a few miles from Dayton. So, and then if you look at the independent world class that was at that show, Westerville, Ohio, near Dayton; Onyx, in Dayton.
Literally Dayton.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inside.
Lexington, Kentucky, but Lexington is one of the few places in Kentucky that has money, right? And it's close enough to Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Elevate, Indianapolis, Illinois; Murfreesboro, close to Nashville. So basically, I just ran down your independent placements, but I'll say them in more grandiose fashion. Juxtaposition.
Dude,
Show was great. Show was great.
Mind you know what is what that show is.
Show was great.
Golly.
Like I called it in prelims. I was like,
I felt
this is finna flip flop.
I felt like I was in chain links the whole time.
This is finna
That's, I mean,
flip flop.
So okay, so let's run down this and then let's talk about this because I think we all basically saw these 5.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So Juxtaposition won the regional with an 83-1. Onyx was at 81.4. Now they were flip flopped in prelims. So Will,
Yeah,
I know you saw the prelims runs, but
yeah,
here in a second, I'd like to see what you saw to make you think that would flip because Onyx had a huge gap on him in
hmm
prelims. So I'd be interested to hear what happened or what you thought happened. Lexus was third with a 77. Then we had a pretty big gap in score with Elevate, which was 68.7. And then Eclipse was fifth with a 64.8. Okay. Um, so let's go. Let's talk backwards really quick. Eclipse. I like the idea of the show. Um, I lose. I think trying to figure out what for me what the visual tying is to what the show is with the props, with the floor tart rollings, and I like how they get them out. But for me, I get a little lost in
I
what's
can
trying
agree
to
with
be
that. And it hurts, because that's the alum,
said. Yeah,
right? That's the alumni right there. So you're wondering, it's like, what is it going to take? What does it need? What needs to happen, or where does it need to go in that kind of sense? Um, I don't know if they are spending enough yet. I
So I
don't
was
know
gonna
if the
say,
work is difficult enough yet. Um,
Do they have
like
uniforms?
you,
no, it's all black. I think it's
I don't,
supposed to be part of the show, maybe. Like that's why
I
they're in
don't
all
think,
black.
I didn't think it was the uniform. I
That's
mean, it
what I'm
could have been.
asking. Like, are they just wearing all black because they don't have anything yet,
That's
or
what
is
I
that
thought.
their
I
actual
thought it was.
uniform? That's
To
what
me,
typically,
I
I
was
thought it was
thinking.
just because maybe the uniforms haven't came in yet.
yeah,
Yeah.
typically when guards don't have the uniform, they do dress black.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
what they call it in guard. I know in the band where we call it concert black, but
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, like is it it's a lot of questions, and I'm in the same boat with you, said it like on concept wise and idea and things like that. It's like you want to get it, you want to understand it, and but you get lost, and then like I said, on an execution standpoint, it's like I think there's a lot of things that need to be worked on, and we got to figure certain things out, and then just tap into that
yeah,
because that's rough. I mean, you're calling it what it is. That's a rough score. You're 4 pointed by fourth place. So
and it's early. It'll get better.
it is, and you try to take certain things with a grain of salt because of the timing and when it is, because like you said, it's early season. There's so many shows left. There's so many rehearsals left.
Well,
And
they got a while.
not like a while. So
Yeah,
I think it's just a culture shock when you see it now,
Yeah,
and then it's like, God, oh, you know. So
I was like, I think it just needs more content and
yeah,
context.
yeah,
Like what is going on? Like us to be like, there's not enough there, and then context wise, like it didn't really grab me as far as what was going on.
hmm
Maybe, and like that could be. We talk about this with DCI a lot too. It's like
Mm-hmm.
TV versus live could be a totally different experience with that. So
hmm
um, that could be a little bit of a difference there. But
um, and then so we had Elevate in fourth, um, and there's some spots in this show that I really like. For me personally, their ending flag phrase when they were on the right side
Uh-huh.
of the floor
hmm
um, towards the end of
Mm-hmm.
the show, I really that
that
really stuck
that
out to
set
me.
design is great.
Yes.
I really like it. I hope they can clean up. I hope
Okay.
they can get
Can you describe that
uh
set design real quick for those that haven't seen it yet?
I might get some of it. I'm not quite sure. There's what is it like a step, or some kind of brown
Looks like some kind of
um,
stairs. My question is,
stairs.
is there a show the one that's about the house fire? Is that them?
Yes, I think so. Hold on. I'm gonna look that up because
Because that
I
makes it make a lot more sense if that's who it is.
I think so.
Kind of.
Because I think I remember us talking about that when we were talking about show reveals.
Yes.
okay. Hold on. I'm
So
getting
while
there.
he's
I'm
looking
getting
that
there.
up, their floor is cut diagonally from top right to bottom left.
Yeah,
And the side that's closest to us, so the bottom right corner, that is all like a cream white. And then the back half is all black.
It is the fire one.
Okay.
So just remember what it is that um, it's a true story of a young girl who passed away in a house fire in an attempt to save a loved one. Elevate engages in a scientific concept known as a life recall that is said to occur in the moments before passing. Um, and I think that's what they were doing with the white and black there. Like that's
Mm.
the recall size, the white side or whatever. Um, so yeah, there you go.
But
I thought there
yeah,
was more to say, but that's
so
nothing.
I want us, so like, I think the steps part that's in the back half in the black could maybe resemble the front steps of the
the front
house.
of the house,
Hmm.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
and
Oh,
it's actually well designed. They
this is
spend
good. This
it
is
the
good.
work. Here's the thing: the work and everything is great. So, but there's a lot because when you have so much of that stuff on, you got the
Mm,
leaves and stuff everywhere. You got all this visualization transition from light to dark, all of this stuff. Um, they know what they got to clean.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's lots to clean, lots to clean. But the good thing about it is that the show itself in general is just great.
Yeah, I would say the
So
concept's
so
there for them.
so
Yeah.
you got one of the harder elements done in a sense. If you want to add more, whatever. But the idea and getting that part across is you can take that off your shoulders. So now you can get into the meat of what the seasons usually are about, which what people want to do is just clean. You don't want to have to figure out. You don't want to have to, make this make sense or do this or blah blah blah. You know, all you want to do is rehearse clean, 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 get as clean as you possibly can, and I guarantee you that number will jump.
Yeah. So, so kind of looking forward to seeing what they do the rest of the season with this because I think they have a pretty good vehicle. Uh, and guards will always do something different. Like they will change things, and you'll see a lot of different stuff. Yeah, they may be subtle for the average eye, but for a judge, they're huge changes. So cool. Lexus, I really like the show concept.
I did
Yes.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The show's called Another Me, and basically they're they're talking about how somewhere there's another you that's in this universe or a parallel universe or something that's you if you have made different choices throughout your lifetime and how they you would never meet the other you, which you should want to meet the other you because
Hmm.
it's really and
Hmm.
they do a lot of pair and partner work.
There's a lot of
Uh,
duality going on too.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
lots of stuff. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
That's another group, just like Will was saying. They have the show.
Yeah.
That's about adding more to it and cleaning it up because that's solid. Duality, I want to say duality sometimes is easy to do, but it's hard to make a different twist on it.
Hmm.
And they're doing that with this show, which is really really cool. So
Yeah, a
Um,
lot of times in show design, that is the hardest part is making
mm-hmm.
sure the show itself and the idea and the concept is understood and it's out there and it's done and stuff like that.
Or you could be an onyx.
um, and one of the spots in Lexus that stood out to me was towards the end, and they were talking about they mentioned three or four different just kind of aspects of the person and they had they come in from all four corners and they all four corners were doing different types of flag work. Uh, the drill melded them in to make a full ensemble flag moment centered around a girl in the middle. That was really cool. They all drop their flags, and then they go into this unison bodywork type of deal. That's really cool. Fade to the top left corner with an individual standing in the middle. I
Hmm.
Just a
See
really
when they
great
drug
way.
her across the floor.
Yeah, uh, this is a
I was
really
like,
great
my
way to.
knees.
You're right. Uh, just a really great way to end that show. This kind of stuck out to me. Uh, but yeah, I really like that. I'd like to see where that goes as the season goes along too. Uh, and then Onyx
Get out.
finishing second. Uh, okay, where does
Like I
another?
said, I'm just like I said to Will, I'm still trying to figure out last year's show, and then this one comes on, and I just was the music supposed to
It's
stop? Because it could have very well been supposed to have stopped, and nobody knew. I don't know if they knew. It's
So
but it
But
had
the
me
sound,
sit. But it
I
had me
thought
sitting
reset my
there.
app because I thought the app, like the sound went. I was like, well, crap. I had to like, and then I heard people cheering. Like, oh, wait a minute.
yeah,
No, but then they just had me sitting there, just like catching flies, because I was intrigued and concerned and confused and in awe. I would like,
well, did the
can I
sound
get
stop in the
a,
prelims performance?
huh?
Talking to Will,
Oh, I was gonna
did
say,
the
can I get
did
a
the
Onyx for Dummies textbook?
did the
Oh no,
track did the
did Will
track?
crash?
Oh
Uh
no!
oh.
Oh no, oh no. Our one
No.
key to knowing is now gone.
Mm-mm.
Well, I guess we can talk about this show. Um,
Hold on. Well, you guys go ahead.
okay, well, I don't know what the hell's going on. Uh, but they have one note the entire time playing. Oh,
Oh
he's
yeah,
gone,
it's a
gone.
piano note. It's like it starts out really slow. It's the same note the whole time. It's real slow. And then gradually throughout the show, it just gets a little bit faster
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit faster, and yeah, it just kind of it builds like a little bit of an ominous tension.
That's why I want to know
Like
if like
it progressively made my blood pressure rise. I
yes,
think
that's not what I was gonna say. Like
I
the anxiety
it's a little bit
alone.
of
Um,
uncomfortable.
but like um, like I want to know if like the music did cut out and like does it build to something else or does it just keep going
I bet it just keeps going
like
and
the
getting
entire time
faster.
there? But since he's on the set is doing his work he needs to do right now, I'll pull up the recap um, real quick. And Onyx was straight twos on everything. Second place overall. They split equipment analysis, movement analysis, and one judge with general effect. They won a couple of those. Actually, no, they didn't win those. They just won one of the subcaptions. I mean,
I mean,
um, but
this
he has returned. Oh man,
Bro,
I
my
was,
whole computer was just like, nah, bro. You know what?
it's
We're not doing this no more.
no more podcasts. What are you
Like, are
talking
you
about?
kidding me? Like,
Oh man.
dead just froze. Couldn't do nothing.
Well,
Anyways,
I was talking about. I was filling time. I went to the recap and said Onyx was second in every caption, and they split some sub captions, but overall they were second, all around
One judge
there.
had him first, but
Yeah, one. Sorry, Jennifer just had him first. Yeah, I did say that.
talking about in finals.
Yeah. So did the music cut out in prelims, or did it go all the way through?
No. In prelims, the music does not cut out. The
Okay.
note just gets faster and faster, and it gets even more faster to the end, and it goes all the way down to the last toss, whatever, body work, whatever you want to say. But it goes all the way through. But they did add like little tiny instrument, like little tiny movements here and there throughout the song from prelims to finals. But that music cut off, like my theory is, like I said before, I think it bottomed out from the announcer's table. And they had an audio issue because during a retreat, the announcer was calling out the color guards and his mic went out.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So when that happened, that made me almost confirm my theory of maybe that's what happened to Honest, because that low note with that low hertz, even though that's a one note, it could have probably bottomed out the system, maybe shut it off. It's just a theory, but I feel like that's probably what happened. But like I know I say to us in our little chat, I was like, but I don't put it behind Onyx to actually do something like that for real in the show. Like just completely cut everything, go dead silent. But I thought the music was going to come back on. Because I was like, first of all, Onyx, I can't believe you did this and I hate you. But I thought the note was going to come back. But at the same time, I was like, if the note comes back, it better be on beat, because
yeah, for real. Like, you imagine?
Because
I wonder if somebody was
like, metronome.
Somebody was probably looking at if it was the table or the announcer, somebody probably looked at him and was like, "Don't do it.
You can't, because if that track goes out, it's a wrap. You can't bring that track back on."
So if you don't want any spoilers, I'll give you 5 seconds to mute or skip ahead for a second or two.
Yeah.
Hold up your hand.
Yeah. So when my hand goes down, it's safe to listen again or watch or whatever you're doing. So if you're listening, you can't see my hand anyway, so just deal with it. So they play a single note.
We already talked about this while you were on the phone.
Okay.
So the spoiler alert's late.
Okay. So if they had started it back up, and Onyx was not accelerating at the same speed as the audio recording,
it'd have been jacked.
That could have been.
How do you?
It'd have been jacked unless you rehearsed that way. It would have been jacked, because those performers are very smart minded, because they were capable of finishing a show like that. That's already hard, because yes, okay, there is a note and it accelerates through the show, but there are a lot of moments in that show where it's off beat.
Yeah, there's no hits. There's nothing lined up.
It's not like
that.
It's not
but
really
that's
like
Onyx
that
thing
provides
like
metronome for him.
It's in some bits it does, in some sections it does, but there are a lot of sections where if you watch that show, it's like there's no click to this.
I
like,
swear they were just making it up as they went along.
Yeah,
I swear they were.
But
I'm like, y'all gonna do all this, and then you go all come down and sit down and play patty cake together on these benches? Like, what is happening? Like, I was dumbfounded and in awe.
Onyx does a tremendous job of having the most simple palette.
Yeah.
And using it very, very effectively.
Yeah.
Their body work is outstanding.
Yep. Yes.
Simply outstanding. And that's why it works for them. That's why they can do stuff. Like, it's like it, and I don't mean this as a slight at all, but it's like they're dancers who just happen to know how to spit.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what it was last year too. Like, that's what it felt like.
I'm always amazed about how well they can manipulate their body to do whatever it is they need to do. Their body is the prop. I mean, I remember distinctly there was a phrase where they make a box in the top right hand corner to focalize a flag twirler.
Yep.
And the flag twirler jumps out of the box like the box is a physical object, and they just do things like that. They,
the whole color flag in the middle of the white flags in the back of the floor section, that's around where the music stopped this time in the show. But when the note is playing too in that section as well, it's crazy genius. But it goes along with, like I said, this is why I called it. And I was like, today I feel like it's going to flip. Juxtaposition was going to get them. Because for one, Onyx's show is too hard. That show is hard. And I said, that's going to take them a minute to clean.
Yeah, when I looked at the recap earlier, I think they got like a, hold on. Let me find it. An 87 in equipment analysis and 86 in movement analysis for the, not the, I guess it'd be rep, I guess it'd be, yeah. Yeah, vocabulary, there you go, yeah. So, same as rep or whatever, but so it's high. Execution is not there yet.
Yeah. When you have anything above 2 points gaps in between the execution and the vocabulary captions, you got a little bit of cleaning to do. You want to try to keep that to 2 to 1 to even if you can get it there. So yeah, the difficulty is most definitely there for them.
And sometimes that's what hurts them. That's what hurts them a lot of times. That's why Pride and Blessed got tapped them last year, because when you're doing the same as Honest, but you're able to clean it on a different level, that it's just it speaks good and bad to Honest, because that says, okay, Honest has something that they figured out that maybe other groups are not are afraid to try or can't do yet, because you're trying something that is that hard.
And we can make that. I got a comparison to make that.
What do you think they got that penalty for?
It might have been timing, or
I can see that happening when you don't have your
timing, or maybe something went over, like a pop or something, or something. It could have been anything. But I do want to give Juxtaposition their due love too.
Oh yes.
We talked about Onyx for quite a bit, but
that was cool.
That show is probably going to be my favorite of the year.
It's good, dude.
They know how to make an entrance.
Right?
Show's called Off the Chains, and it is legitimately off the chains.
Like they're going to go nuts at Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to go nuts at Worlds.
That's going to be that Mad Hatter show, or Alice Wonderland show from last year.
It's very rare that a fan favorite also is the group that wins, but this very well could be. Now, I know there's some other world-class groups that score pretty high too, but there's something about this show, the way that it's put together, it just works. The audio track was done brilliantly.
Yeah, whoever mixed that did the Lord's work, because they have everything in there.
And then the visualization of the audio track worked very, very well together.
It's great when they visually play or do the audio.
Yes.
Yes. And that happens quite a bit.
Funny story, I had to have I was watching this show. It was pretty quiet, like volume wise. So I was like, had it up pretty loud for the shows. That way I could hear what was going on. And then they came out whenever they came their entrance and about blew my speakers out. I was like, God bless. I like turned down real quick. My wife was like, what was that? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's okay. It's fine.
Because it's like talking about making an entrance. They warm you up to the show,
right?
Like you get your own warm up before you even get to the show.
Well, like at first when I heard it, I was like, I thought it was just because they always play music in between the groups, anyways.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, this is a cool little mix, and then I was like, wait, they're already out there, like
I said the same thing. See, and I said the same thing in prelims, because the way they did it, I was like, all right, this is cool. And it kind of worked. I was like, why is this working so well? Then they started moving to it. Then the body started making sense. And I was like, is this y'all show? And then it stopped. And then they got, I keep forgetting his name, dude, from DCI to announce it.
Yes.
How cool is that, man?
Right. Him on the track, announcing the show again. I was like, I hate y'all. I said, I hate y'all. And that's why I called it. And I said, Onyx, I don't know, bro. I said, I don't know, bro. I was like, this is fire.
Um, like I said, and I think that's one reason why. Which begs the question: what happened in prelims? Because I mean, I know it's a different panel typically,
It wasn't as clean.
so they weren't clean in
Well,
prelims.
and Onyx, I mean, Juxtaposition still beat them, but Onyx did have a point penalty, so it's still a gap though. I mean, it's still there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying prelims. Onyx put it on juxtaposition.
Yeah,
So
they put like 2 on them or something like that.
yeah.
I
So
wonder
that
they just clicked on prelims.
um, we talked about the difference in toughness of the show, while Onyx won the vocabulary and the repertoire
Mm-hmm.
for 3 out of the 5 judges. Um, Juxtaposition was cleaner, executed higher
Mm-hmm.
in most captions, even beating them in the design analysis caption, which it was done well. It was done really, really smartly. And you don't see in world class percussion guard wins. You don't really see like the blunt. This is what the show is. We're gonna just cram it down your stuff face.
Yeah.
A lot of times get the high design scores.
Mm-hmm.
So for them to get that appreciation for what they're doing in both design analysis and general effect with that type of show, I think says a lot. I hope it doesn't plateau.
And that's the fear because, like I
Yeah,
said,
if they're
because
already.
Onyx show is so difficult, if they wind up cleaning that,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to see
Well,
some mix ups.
well, and
So
if they're
once
already
all of them get
executing.
together, get Blessed together, get Pride together, get the rest of them all in the same boat, this is going to be very interesting.
Well, and if you're already executing higher than your vocabulary, doesn't that kind of tell you it's too easy in some aspects?
To a certain
Or is
extent,
it?
yes.
And to, yeah,
Yeah,
because Onyx may not ever catch up. They may not ever
Yeah,
get
it's
it.
true. Yeah.
They may get it to the level to where, yes, this is still finals worthy. Yes, this is still top 5 or such and such, but it's not medal yet because you still got these gaps or whatever. It's basically kind of like, I
Well,
guess,
because of that same thing we always say is that like, you know, it's a balance between knowing your group and what they can do. So you write for the group that you think you have, and then your group blows it out of the water. Okay, what do I need to do to fix that? Or you write for your group that you think you have and they underperform it. You're like, okay, now what I need to do, that's that we talked about that, I think, since the inception of this show. How do you balance that out? So, the
and
great
I,
thing about WGI is that you can do really quick turnarounds and you can change the show from week to week. So, you know,
and that's true too. And Onyx could have, as a staff and as a member, a lot because a lot of groups have this idea. Yes, we want a medal, but we don't want to sacrifice the challenge
mm-hmm.
yeah.
idea. You see what I'm saying? And because you're still executing great. We're not denying none of that.
Mm-hmm.
But they could be that. Like, obviously, we want a medal. That's not even a question. But at the same time, is it worth it to us to downgrade just for this to be cleaner? But yet the audience still loves it, kind of deal. And like I said, a lot of groups are like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of groups have that kind of mindset. So like I said, they could be that.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how that all turns out. Because both of those shows are good and they're both completely different. And that's the beautiful thing about WGI. Anything can win. If it's
Mm-hmm.
designed well and it's executed well, it has a chance. Um, Onyx has proved that over the past several years, and Juxtaposition is going to try and prove that this year. So good for them. Um, All right, real quick, we're gonna run down some this kind of shows to watch in the color guard world. You got the Holland Philadelphia regional. Uh, it's gonna be on Flow Marching, so that'll be shown. And you then your big 2 day regionals is San Diego regional and the Chicago regional. Both of those have some groups um, that you should watch out for. And Percussion Man Land. Uh, that weekend you have the Temecula regional, so we'll get to see some of the California dudes, RCC and all those guys go head to head. Orlando, Florida, Orlando Percussion Regional will be on Flow,
Mm-hmm.
and you also have the Trumbull, Connecticut Regional. So lots of groups will be probably at those shows coming out, uh, doing their thing. And then in the Winds world, you have, as soon as my computer computer go. Um, you have the Orlando Regional as well there, Temecula, and then you have a Winds Regional at Edinburgh in Texas. So, so a few regionals are going to be shown. Looks like that Percussion Regional in Orlando is going to be Percussion Winds Regional. It's going to be pretty big. Uh, got some notable groups down there. Strike's going to be there. Infinities, um, all three of them. Um, Stoneman Douglas, got some big names there. Oakland High School, Cypress Creek. So Strike Winds is going to be there. So lots of really good schools at that regional. So lots to watch. Circuit shows are underway, so everybody go out to your local circuit and celebrate some great drumming and guard playing and wind playing and all the stuff with the things and the toot toots and the bang bangs and the twirly twirls. So, um, anything else, fellas?
I think I'm good.
All hearts and minds are clear. You can listen to us or find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Did I say YouTube twice?
X flowing on his Twitter.
Oh, Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Twitter, and then
Ever.
you can listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
I feel like it's just like Prince now when he changed his name to a symbol. There's an artist formerly known as Prince. That's why I feel like Twitter is now. That's
Um, so, and if you got any comments below about who you've seen, what shows you like so far in any division, what shows you've been at, and all that good stuff, let us know in the comments below.
oh, I got one more thing. Will and Seth are churning out some perk talks here. If you want to get more in detail of the perk world, and check out that show as well. Doing some good work.
Yeah, we're doing some reacts.
Some nasty beats out there.
Yeah, it's a lot of really good happening. So if you want to get more in detail, if you want to hear more in detail stuff about percussion, you can check those out. We're going to be cranking those out throughout the season and all that good stuff. And yeah, and as more wind stuff come out, we cover that too a lot better. We just need videos. Nobody.
I didn't know about the independent regional that they had this weekend.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was coming. I caught. Who was that? The last independent world one, L something. LSM. I caught maybe like last 2 minutes of it. I think they got some kind of. I don't want to call it a bridge or something on the floor. It's got some kind of line in between or whatever. I think it was solid, what I could tell. But I caught it too late. They were already in finals. But I was actually happy to see that Winds had their own separate regional.
Yeah.
Nobody else. I was like, that's kind of major.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad it's growing. I'm glad it's growing, and I'm glad it's high execution because there's some good stuff out there that's happening. People are starting to figure out what works,
Mm-hmm.
And things are getting scary good. So, all right. If you ain't got nothing else, guys, I'm Cedric for Chris, Will, and Zach. This has been another episode of On the Back Cash. Make sure you go out and check out our local show and all that good stuff. We are dut.
Dut dut
Out.
out.